Bear with me for just a second when I look that. Thank you. We got one here that says, this is a really wonderful way to attend a meeting. My kid is sitting here doing homework while I fix dinner and listen. Very cool. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for engaging with us. I'm glad that we could provide this opportunity without folks having to come out to a school or be in a different venue, and I think that's really cool too. I'm really excited that your students doing their homework and getting ready for tomorrow. So thank you for being with us in this kind of unique format. It's kind of fun. Okay, and there's a couple other things that say so here's a good question. I think this is an important question to address. Is the improvement in the graduation rate tied to the decline in our ACT preparation rate? So there's a couple dynamics going on there that I want to talk about. So we have seen a significant increase in our high school graduation rate. We've gone, as I said, from 79% a couple years ago to 88% for the class of 2013. And we're very proud of that. We think that that is a function of a number of different dynamics. Certainly, the focus on really trying to provide great instruction in every classroom every day is a big part of that. But I also think, to some extent, we've focused a lot on the transition for students from 8th grade to 9th grade and making that a smooth transition into high school. And also, our high schools have done a lot to, and this sometimes is seen as a pejorative term, but to micromanage students in some ways. And what I mean by that is not to be all over them and to do what needs to be done for them, but to know each of our kids, to know where they are in their academic journey, and to know if a student gets off track that we need to intervene in real time. So, so that we don't get to the point where we don't recognize that a student is not on track to graduate until, the second semester of their senior year. But if they get off track in, week 4 of their freshman year, we have some opportunities to, first of all, know that, and secondly, to intervene. So I think we've seen, that's part of our high school graduation rate success story is, I think, a part of the focus that our done a great job with. At the same time, the state of Tennessee has moved toward, and we as the Knox County Schools have moved toward, asking virtually all of our students to take the ACT. Now, in the past, what has happened is students have sort of self-selected to take the ACT, and really only students who saw themselves as going to four-year universities were the ones who decided that they would take the ACT. And so, you know how this works. If you decide to take the test, you can have some influence on what the results are. And so when students self-selected, we had an ACT composite rate that was higher than it is today. But what we have today is virtually all of our students taking the ACT. And so our composite is, I believe we're at a composite ACT score of 20.2. The good news is that that's a true reflection of where we really are with all of our kids. And as we move from year to year, we can truly measure our progress. The other thing with a composite ACT score, and I won't go too much longer on this, and we'll wrap up in a second here, but the other thing with a composite ACT score is it's really an average. And averages can mask a lot of dynamics on the high end or the low end of how students are doing. So what we have done in the current strategic plan has really defined that we want the vast majority of our incoming ninth graders to graduate on time, 4 years later, to graduate successfully, and to score a 21 or better on the ACT. So we sort of set, instead of an average that we want, we've sort of set a minimum threshold that we want for our students to be able to get to, so that they can both demonstrate the knowledge that they've attained over time, but also that 21 opens some doors for post-secondary education and other opportunities. So we think that's a more meaningful indicator. And over time, if you look at that indicator of how many of our incoming ninth graders have graduated 4 years later with a 21 or better, you see steady improvement in upward direction over time. So I think I'm going to stop there. We're just about at about an hour, and I've gone through a number of questions. There's a couple that are sort of related to some of the other questions that I've already asked, and sort of a little bit of overlap there. So I think I want to say thank you to all of you for being with us today. I hope you did find it convenient and easy to be with. We will post these slides on our website so you have access to them. And I would encourage you to look at the bottom of this slide and see some additional opportunities to provide us feedback. We'd love to get more of your comments, questions, and reactions, including, based on that last question, how should we measure success? What are the indicators of success that we should be looking at for the next 5 years? And we'd love to get your feedback and your input on that as well. So I want to thank you for being with us today, and I want to thank you for your interest and your support as we look to achieve our ambitious goal of excellence for every child. Have a great night. Take care. Thanks.